Happy Family Day, Royal Pushback Aftermath, L&L Soul Sisters, and Lashery & Co. Today's February the 19th of 2024, and I did a video the other day to thank people who have joined. It means a lot to me. I'm going to try to keep this introduction short and stay on point. 34 seconds in. If you could just bear with me and give your fellow community members a moment just so I can thank some people for some support that they've given me, which was greatly needed. Molly, LJE, Christine, Pajamas, L_town, Testil Soul, Kelly, MM, Sarah, Snuggly Wuggly, Lemon, Venus, M. Mold, Vicky, Cindy, Jim, Moses, Jody, Gino, Moon Dancer, Dark Side of the Moon, another Venus, or maybe it's the same Vision, Trozen, Susie Eisel, Ray, Kia, and then there's Tina, Del, Leah, Jeff, Jordan, Lisa DeSantes, and also there's Tanya, Graham, Mike, DW, Ricky, Steph, Dice, Sui, Juan, and Aden, and all the original Royal Pushback Aftermathers, from Olag to Raylene to Pajamas to Trevor to Lauren to L-Town, Roy D, Karen, and Kerbal, and Sang, and Ed, Ange, Package Only, Moon Dancer, Fiona, Teresa, Treasure, and I know I'm missing people, Ryan, Josh. So it took all but 1 minute to name off the people. I don't know why I say this. Yes, I do know why I say this. I'm just going to be real today. I don't know where my mouth is going to take me. I actually have to look at the hashtags because I didn't take any notes. So I actually have to go to my own channel to find out what the hashtags are, because that's just the way that I am. But I'm learning. And the reason that I say this every single time is because it absolutely just blows me away. 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 So I want to talk today about, obviously, the really good things about family, ethics, morals, values. What I've learned is a good, for lack of a better word, this is my old Jenny Craig cult days coming in, but it really is, let me use different words with the same meaning. I need to deprogram myself. I want to share from my opinions and observations what a healthy family unit looks like, and the mistakes that were made in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, lived through generations. Also, it is Family Day, but there are also problems in families as well as very healthy families. And I need to talk about that. Why do I need to talk about it? Why does anybody need to talk about something? It's usually because it's something that person wants to talk about. I always considered myself such an altruistic person, and I am, to a point, but we all have little traits of narcissism. However, I'm not a narcissist. I'm saying that the reason I'm being open and honest, and I will regret this tomorrow, is because of something that happened to me on Friday, and it absolutely woke me up. And I'll get into it. My energy vibration is very low right now, so please bear with me. I'll get pumped up tomorrow. Also, so just trigger warning. This is not if you're having a great family day. And just about this relationship that I've had about narcissistic abuse, recovering from trauma, the gross medical negligence, royalty, books. This is more like a variety show, and I want to talk about Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, King Charles, Samantha Markle, and Thomas Markle Jr. And I used hashtag take action. So I will start there. I am 6 minutes and 21 minutes in. If you slide the line to 10 minutes, I'll be back then because I don't know how to splice and slice. I need to go write down my points so I don't come across like a bumbling, depressed with the symptom of ADHD, like Megan's claw hanging on Harry's shoulder. So it's now 6:47, basically 7 minutes. I'll be back in 3 minutes and 6 seconds. 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Thank you for waiting. I really very much appreciate it. So let me get some things out of the way. I was just going to say, you know how I always like to deflect? I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man out of my hair. And not pick his hair out of the shower, because he's nothing but a broken flower, and he took it out on me. And that's the truth, not a fantasy. Oh, that's what Carol Burnett used to do when she started her show. Okay. All right. That cheered me up a little bit. Get those healing endorphins coming in. Okay. Let me talk about why Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are driving me crazy. And it's family day, and we are family with the Commonwealth, the UK, and me. Why do people do that? I wasn't looking for approval, or I would have gone like that. So what's this? Maybe the behavioral panel will know. Look what they've done to their families. Meghan Markle came in with her beautiful nails I just usually press on nails so I can take them off when I play my guitar. And she ripped a piece of the monarchy out. So let's not even get into spare the me you can't see. And now we've seen all of them, including hearing about his genitalia known as a todger. And then we have Finding Freedom by Omid Scobie and Meghan Markle. And I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. And Wallace Simpson, they all have morphed into the same person. I wish that I could afford that software where you can morph what somebody would look like. And if I knew how to splice and slice, I'd love to make a video like that one day. I hate asking for help. I do. I hate it. Why am I smiling when I say, I hate it? I really hate it. It's a nerve thing. But look what they've done to the family. So let's forget, and the Gabor Mate and Kinsey Schofield and Lady Diana and all of the trauma, and let's just stay in the here and now and look at what's going on. And I predicted this in my tarot card readings on Concord 7 months ago. And the reason that I always say there's 563 souls dispersed between these 3 channels, well, first of all, because it's true. Second of all, because I was winging it. I just knew I wanted to do something, and I'm still trying to find my stride. Nobody gonna break on my style. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving. I've been crying all weekend, so anyway, bottoms up. This is actually water. So let's forget Harry and Meg hens, chickens and her eggs. Pregnant ladies don't go into chicken coops, by the way. And if you want to have a laugh, go to L&L Soul Sisters and go to popular videos. And there's one that I do about Meghan Markle when she's pregnant, and it did get 11,833 views. I don't mean it sarcastically. I'm not bragging. I'm saying that many people in this world took time for a little. It blows my mind. And when I come on here, I start feeling a little happier, or else I would just sit there and stew. I think that's why people have YouTube channels. Like, for example, Sloan was talking about his breakup with his boyfriend, and he was being very, very real. And I know that I do this all the time because I have a huge overbite and they wanted to break my jaw like this, which would have changed my face. And then when I was born, they wanted to slip my eyes because they were worried about this happening, that it might interfere with my sight. And that, today my eyes were so puffy that this eyelid that droops? This eyelid. It was so puffy that my whole lid was hanging over my eyelashes and I could hardly see. It looked like somebody punched me in the eye without a bruise. I guess what I'm trying to say is I always feel bad because I always hear a lot of podcasters saying I want to reach 150,000 and this and that. And I understand setting goals, but it makes me feel like maybe I just think too much and take it too personally. I don't know. So just shut up, Lasha, and talk about what you want to talk about. I'm not giving you stink eye. I'm giving myself stink eye. Harry and Meghan, to this day, I don't really care why Harry went back to see his father. It's just a given. And I hear people on YouTube talking about it over and over, like for an hour, about that one flight. I get it. We get it. But I'll tell you, Giant Slayer, he's amazing to listen to. He has the perfect cadence. He said, if that was my family and my father was sick, there's no issue. You just go and you sit there like a rock and you don't move. Even if he doesn't want you there. Don't move. That's what families do when they come together. And I'm not making fun of him. I just so admire him. And then you've got NT Lawyer with that, yeah, I don't really like talking about kids, but, and he's right. He's right. What bothers me so much is you know about my change.org, not talking about it. All I'm going to show you is this. Show it to me one more time, Lash. It's never enough. Okay? So while Meghan and Harry are in Whistler, and she's not even Canadian, and he's not even an athlete. Like, I'm no one to talk, okay? When I said, what has Harry done? He's done a lot. And he comes from a really powerful family, too. And I talked on Paula M's channel 100 times about doing a petition. And now she's talking about it. And I did it on her live and nobody answered. And then I asked Emma on TNT and I kept asking her. And she kept ignoring my question because the name of my channel was on there. All she had to do was say my name, and I even paid to become one of her Bubble family members. Sorry, I still love all you, but familiarity can breed contempt, even on YouTube. It's 111. Okay. So Giant Slayer is right. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the monarchy is not a frickin' Hallmark card. I wrote a poem about the monarchy, but it's downstairs. Hang on. Please don't leave. Respectfully, round and round and telling me upside down. Boy, you turn me inside out and round, upside down. Don't tell me, give it up respectfully, round and round. Don't tell me upside down. Okay. Try to keep people entertained when I mess up. Okay. Family is family. Prince Harry, and not Meghan. You don't bring that snake anywhere. I'm trying to pretend that I'm not out of breath. The snake can stay home because there's infidelity going on. I already did her cards today. She's getting sex somewhere else. Harry knows it. This is based on my tarot reading, okay? I also predicted that in 2024, something was going to blow up. And when I read Prince Harry's cards on LNL Soul Sisters 4 or 5 months ago, I said there's an illness in the family. And the Hearst came up. But I thought, well, of course it's, Harry and Meghan are both mentally ill. And I didn't know it was going to be King Charles and Catherine's health. And why Meghan and Harry bother me so much, this is my point. Energy has frequencies. So, for instance, if I'm talking in a very quiet voice and I'm leaning forward and I'm talking with my hands and I'm trying to make a point, you're more likely to listen than if I sit back and talk like this, like a rollback Dr. Honda. He's very good, though. He gives really good advice. His voice is just very monotone, and I'm just very loud. I am very, very loud. I do better when I talk with a Scottish accent. Okay, so the reason Prince Harry and Meghan are bothering me is because look at the state of their two families. And today's family day. I haven't seen on the TV what the royals are doing for family day, but I'm going to go find out. What are they supposed to teach us on family day? And the reason I showed you my leg and why is Meghan Markle and Harry on my turf? I lived in Vancouver for a good 10 years with my husband, and we had a beautiful life out there. I was blessed. I was a blessed human being, and I still am, even with this, okay? And she's a social climber, and she's very good at it. They had children sign NDAs in New York when they went to that school. Why would Meghan go to Matthew McConaughey's hometown and bring a camera film with her to watch her lay flowers? It's so obvious to everybody, and I can't believe that news outlets put that up. And they make money when they do that, those people. And their charities are Fugazi. They even changed it. And don't go on their website and click on it, because then they'll get all your information, and they're already trying to censor speech. I have a family member who keeps telling me to watch what I say on YouTube. And I'm sorry, Mountbatten was a P. The Queen knighted Jimmy Savelli. I mean, I look back on Jimmy Savelli and I think, what did everybody miss? Seriously. Even with Michael Jackson, when you look back now, it's like, what did everybody miss? So what I'm saying is, also, Catherine is an empath. Meghan Markle is a snake. There's nothing in her. So she's like a vampire out for blood, literally, except instead of using people's blood, this is the way I explain a narcissist, except the difference between a vampire and a real narcissist to her level. I was just thinking something, and I know why she blew up to the top right away. I really do. So anyways, she's in my country, and the tax dollars for the Invictus Games that Canada's putting into it, but I was maimed by a surgeon, and I've exposed the name and the hospital and everything. It's all on change.org. Here's where I go, where I feel defeated, but don't feel defeated. You know why? Because there's still 563 people that believe in you, Lasha, and there's 103 signatures. 2 people left comments, and that is more than I ever expected. And that's why I used the hashtag take action, because I was stewing and whining about it and beating myself up, but I'm not sharing how. I didn't cut or anything like that. There's other ways to beat yourself up, you know? It wasn't bulimia or anorexia. I have already been down that road before, and no. And it's not alcoholism or anything like that. It's mental. And I don't expect how doctors expect me to come out of this trauma when it was a doctor who caused the trauma. And you can't talk to a psychiatrist or anybody because they all take oaths and they can't say anything. I'm just looking at Moon Dancer's name, and Ricky and Pajamas and Sarah, and there's so many other people that left feedback, and Trevor, all the time. It's very important to start community. So tomorrow is Tuesday, February the 20th. I'm writing out my schedule this week, and I'm going to write what I'm doing every week. And I can't do something every day. If I do something every day, then that's just a surprise. But what I write down in my 10 Commandment Bible, I'm going to stick to. Okay? And I'll share with you. I will share with you tomorrow what content I'll be putting up, let's say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I'll do something in between the week. But I'm committing myself to you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Please drop in the comments if the Spirit moves you as to what you would like me to talk about, because I love comments. I really do. And to create a healthy YouTube channel, people have to like and subscribe and comment, or else the channels are just going to sit in dead space. So one of the topics I will be talking about are cults. Do you remember at the beginning of the video, I said I need to change how I word this because it's still indoctrinated into me? I want to talk about cults and how you know it's a high control group. Okay. I told you about Meghan Markle. I told you about Take Action. And now I'm going to talk about narcissistic abuse. I'd love to lie and say that a subscriber wrote this to me, and no, this happened to me. And I'm not a victim because I survived it. There's a man that you've all seen on my YouTube channel, and on Friday he was here. And for some reason, he's cheated before. He cheated on B, he cheated on G, he cheats on S, and he cheats on me. And I always knew it, but I stayed with him like a dog taking crumbs, like a starving animal. And he watched me do it. And I watched myself stay. And I got sicker and sicker and sicker. He would never come out to meet my friends, yet he'd keep me towards some of his friends, but his detour gigs, he would keep me away. Detour, honestly, do you know that he had 3 women in the same bar at Whiskey Joe's, and they were playing? And S is supposed to be a friend, but they French kissed. And I asked him, and he said, well, she did it to me. And I said, well, you could have moved your head back. And he said, how did I have control of that situation? And then he got angrier and angrier, and I apologized. Then we were in the middle of being intimate, but he had to stop and text somebody. And I read the text, and it was a girl who threw a drink at his lap. And now he never asks for affection. But that night he wanted me to come on stage with him. And it was to keep her away. And I'm 52. And this happened when I was like 40. 1. And I just figured this out now. He used to come to my house between 20 and 23, and he would be intimate with me. And then he'd say that he didn't have money for a car payment. And now I'm thinking, did he really take that money for the car payment, or was he taking S out? So on Friday, he said that he came here because he needed comfort and silence. He just really didn't want to be alone, but he didn't want me around. So I let him sleep in my bed. I went downstairs. I made him dinner because one of his friends, isn't here anymore. And I wanted to help him. So I went to sit beside him and he turned on his phone. And I looked at he's an Android. And I looked at, the way they do it. It's a Samsung. And I saw the number. And I brought him up ravioli, ice cream, toast. And he didn't want any of it, but he told me he wanted it. And I made it, but he didn't eat it. So then I ate it. And then while he was asleep, I went into his phone. And every time I went in the room to check on him, he was messaging S from my house. And she's married and she has a husband that works at a restaurant somewhere. And she provides, see, they sneak around and she's married and he doesn't want to commit. And I always let him back in my life. And I'm grieving because I think that's like Stockholm syndrome. I've known him since I was 24. He wanted me so badly, but I was like, not like that. And I knew there was something really off about, like really off-putting about him. There was a smell. Nothing that anybody could smell, but pheromones. And I didn't see him that way. Just like some of you can't see me that way. It's just one of those things. And just like I wouldn't look at you, it's that. Do you know what I'm saying? But men and women can never be friends because it always seems to get in the middle. And then somebody gets hurt, and he's hurt a lot of people and never been called out on it. So back to family day, he's with her. And I was crying and I had a migraine, but I didn't know why. And he said he had things to do. And I said, what? It just lied the whole time. When you find out that everything's a lie, and I went into his phone that night, and I've only done that once before to a person, and it was him. And I swore after I saw the messages between those two, I would never look again, because you know what they were saying to each other? He was messaging her the same night that I was babysitting in 2017. And then he gave me heck because the lady I was babysitting for was 20 minutes late. So what? Her and I were like acquaintances at the time. And then you look at all these pieces, and all he ever wanted was money, because she's not a source. Like, when Kinsey Schofield was saying that Meghan and Harry run around and they sneak around and how sexy that is. It's not sexy when he's lying to her and me, and she has a husband. But he would always deny it, and I would always believe it. And you know what their messages were like? I swear to God, I took pictures of his phone because he'll deny it, right? So I really hope he sees this video. If you're watching, I photographed all the text messages, so you can't tell me I'm crazy. IVN. This has been going on for 17 years. And my family doesn't understand what's wrong with me. And now I know. Now I know why I've been stuck. So I am unstucking myself, and I did unstuck myself, and I will never speak to him again. And he's going to try. Oh, he'll try. He'll try. What a liar. And this friend of him, CH, and this drummer from a band, a Canadian band called S and SN and NK, he tried to trick them. He lied to them. He was with, oh my God, he's the one that caused all the drama. And I was so lonely because I knew him since I was 24. So I thought he'd still be the same person. But people don't change. So he was always like that. What I want to say about my family is I love my family. And all of you know who you are. And you know that I love you. And if anybody wants to see me today, give me a call. And God bless you all. And King Charles, I believe, out of Harry's own words, he said, I believe that Meghan's miscarriage was because of the press in my family. I don't know if he said family, though, or the stress, and then the racism. What a bunch of hogwash. What a bunch of frickin' hogwash coming out of her mouth. In his own words, I talk about an Oedipus complex. Freud and Marx are very interesting, but anyways, out of Harry's own mouth, he said that. So you can't blame King Charles and cancer because of Meghan and Harry. But he did say, my darling boys, please don't make the last few years of my life miserable. Harry, your father loves you, and you betrayed him. If I had a father that loved me, if I had a big family, I would never leave. You don't know what you have. And the money. That's all I've got today. I hope I didn't depress your family day. I said trigger warning at the beginning. I'm losing my voice. Okay, take care of yourself. I will continue to do the same. No more homemade haircuts. And that's a wrap, okay? Bye, everybody. It really is a wrap.